Hey, how's it going? Today's Thursday. I'm not sure what time it is. I I saw this video. I saw this video. I saw it. I saw this video a few days ago. I was on the street. I was on the street. I was homeless, and this girl that I sent, this girl, your honest para, the girl that I sent, the girl that I've known for almost a year, for a year. I've known her for a year, and I sent her $360, and she said she would see me, and she didn't come see me. And she posted a video that really disturbed me, where she was like, she's eating out at this nice dinner, she's having some Korean barbecue, and she's saying that she's done hanging out with poor people. She said something along the line of like dinner cost her $1,000, and some guy gave her $1,000 for dinner, and the guy hasn't slept in so long, and she felt bad for him. So for $1,000, she went out with him for dinner. But he's a guy with money, so and she says she's done hanging out with people that are poor. And at the time, it really affected me seeing this video because I'm on the street. I just gave her money, and all of a sudden, like I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough for her to hang out with. And so I wanted to say, how do you? I wanted to have a philosophical conversation, kind of, and just say like, how do you measure wealth? How do you measure being rich? You know, and I just want, I'd like, I don't think she'll understand it because I don't think she understands English. I think she only understands Spanish. And with that being said, I think she's poor. You know, but how do you measure wealth? You know, it'd be nice. It'd be nice to have a few $1 million in a bank account, and then you could say you're rich. You know, but if you have no one to share that money with, and you have nothing to spend that money on, what is that money worth? You know, if I have $1 million, and I buy a cool car, you know, unless I enjoy it, unless maybe it's something personal, maybe personally I think being rich is I don't know if I would say it's personal. I'd say like you know the we let's think about what I wanted for my kid. That like I would want, I would want it to be happy and healthy and prosperous, you know. And I think if you're happy, it's you got $1 million in your pocket if you're happy. You could have $5 in your pocket and you could be happy, and it's all a frame of mind, you know. And if you're healthy, you have everything. If you're happy and you're healthy, you know, and if you have money in your pocket, it's nice, you know. But you could be poor. You could have no money. You could have no money in your pocket, and if I met this girl Abigail. Let's take this girl Abigail into account. I met this girl Abigail and she was homeless. You know, but when I was with Abigail, I felt like $1 million. We had so much in common to the music that we listened to and the way that we like to dress, and hanging out with her was really great. Hanging out with her was a lot of fun. And I felt like $1 million when I hung out with her. And I didn't have to spend a dime. I didn't have to spend a penny. And look at my relationship with Uranus, where like I would give her 160 or $200 to come over, sit on my lap. You know, uh, she's a great girl. She's an amazing girl. And to have her sit on my lap and to kiss her arm and to tell her she's beautiful, it meant a lot to me. You know, but I got the same thing out of hanging out with Abigail, and I didn't have to spend a dollar. You know, when I look at these immigrants, the immigrants that were staying at Floyd Bennett Field, these families, mothers and fathers with their kids, you know, it's like I looked at them, and I was working at Frank's Pizza and I had a job, and they, they had nothing really. Maybe they got a government check or something where they would get stuff from, and they commute from Floyd Bennett Field into Flatbush to get food, or or to get some kind of education, or to get some kind of employment. And I looked at them, and I'd look at them and I go, man, they have everything. They have everything. Like this guy, he's got a beautiful girl, he's got a family, he's got beautiful kids, and they go back and they sleep in a tent in a field, But to me, they're rich. To me, they're rich beyond belief. They have everything, you know, and I'd like, you know, I don't know, like the way things went with Uranus. Where like, if I would have had a car or something, if I would have had a car, she let me drive her home that one time in my mom's car, and I feel like, if I would have had a car, that I could rely on, that I would have been able to pick her up and drop her off and maybe take her to her appointments, and how much money would I have needed? Like how much money would I have needed to do that? I would have needed gas money. I would have, I wouldn't have asked for anything in return for her except for our company. Is it company that makes you rich? Is it who you stay with? Is it your company that makes you rich? You could stay with poor company. They don't have to have money in their pocket, but you would be rich, And I don't know. Her video really upset me. She posted about 3 videos recently that really got to me. Where she was like, I had sent it at $360, and she goes, Amor, I'm not going to see you. Please don't be mad at me. And that was like the last thing she said to me. And then I had talked to her again, and she said, I'll send you some of the money back if you just leave me alone. I don't want to be bothered by you. And like all of a sudden, she's so quick to just throw out whatever we had, and it hurts. It hurts a lot, man. It hurts a lot, and I'm trying to get over it, but it's just like it's in the back of my mind, just like and I'm trying to do this thing now. I got a new TikTok now, and I lost my old account, and I got a new TikTok now, and I'm gonna dedicate this TikTok to her, to Uranus. I'm gonna dedicate this TikTok to Uranus. I'm gonna read every week. I'm gonna read one book in Spanish and post it on the TikTok. And my bio in the TikTok is like, this is dedicated to Uranus Para, who will forever be my Colombian princess. And she came over. I wasn't feeling well. She gave me a back massage. We didn't have sex or anything, and she taught me total mental. She says, when you're not feeling well, think total mentality. Think that it's all in your head, And as long as I can, I'll always think of her as a beautiful princess. She was a beautiful princess. She came into my life like a bolt of lightning, and she left like a quiet storm. And the raindrops that are left over from her remind me that love is possible, even in the most darkest of situations. She was a call girl. She did what she had to do to get by. I don't think it's right that she says she's only going to hang out with people that have money, because look at where she gets her money from. All the money that she has, everything she has come from the kindness of others. It's come from the kindness of others, and she's lucky she is who she is on this earth now, when she's here, that she's got this body, that she's got this body of a beautiful woman. And if she didn't have the body of a beautiful woman in this life, and in the next life she had the body of some kind of man, she'd know how hard it is to come by money, and she'd know how hard it is and how difficult it is to get through life, and she's lucky who she is now, And I'm not going to say I feel bad for her, but I think she's got a lot of growing up to do. I think she's incredibly intelligent emotionally. Where like she's been in all these situations. As far as like emotional intelligence, she's incredibly intelligent. But as far as like I don't know, like baseline intelligence, I don't think she's that bright. I don't think she's that smart. She's pushing away people that care for her. She's and you know I don't think I don't think she's in a good place right now. I think she's putting up a veil. I think she's putting up a curtain, and I think she's putting on a fake smile. And I don't think she's as well as she pretends to be. You know, and she's gonna need friends. She's gonna need friends eventually. Eventually, she's gonna need friends. I don't know how long this is gonna work for her. You know, uh, like I said, it's all in my head. She taught me it's all in my head. I hope she matures. I hope she wiggles her way back into my life. I hope she comes to realize that I really did love her. You know, and I hope she's well. I hope she's okay. You know, but I don't think money. I don't think. I don't think. I don't think she's. I don't think being rich is necessarily how much money you have in your pocket. You know, and if you get that money from others, you should be grateful to the others that gave you that money. You know, and I think like experience speaks a lot. And it's possible to do a little with a lot. It's possible to do a lot with a little that you have. You know, and I hope that girl's okay. I hope that girl's okay.